Tina Malone has never been the kind of actress to blend into the background.
From her fiery role as Mimi Maguire in Shameless to her early years on Brookside, she's always had that rare mix of grit, charm, and determination that makes her unforgettable. And now, she's making headlines again, not for something she's already done, but for the big ambitions she's still chasing. In a recent interview on the Best Suddenly Single podcast, Tina revealed the roles that are still on her bucket list. And it turns out, she's got her eyes locked on two of Britain's biggest soaps, Coronation Street and Emmerdale.
For millions of viewers, those shows are more than just TV, they're cultural landmarks.
And Tina believes she has what it takes to step into their world. But her dreams don't stop there. She also spoke about wanting to work with Quentin Tarantino, one of Hollywood's boldest directors, and even expressed her love for Shakespeare, saying she'd be thrilled to perform with the Royal Shakespeare Company. It's a career wish list that spans gritty northern drama, Hollywood blockbusters, and timeless stage classics.
And honestly,
with Tina, you wouldn't bet against her making at least some of it happen.
But if you know anything about Tina Malone, you know ambition isn't new for her.
She built her career by sheer force of will. Back in the early 90s, when she was desperate to join Brookside, she didn't just send one letter or make one phone call. She wrote to the producers every single week for a year. Week after week, her letters piled up until finally, they gave in and offered her the role of M.O. McGee in 1993. That's persistence on a whole different level, and it launched a chapter of her career that made her a household name. Her story could have stayed focused on television success and career milestones.
But Tina's personal life has always been just as dramatic, filled with highs and heartbreaking lows.
Earlier this year, she faced one of her toughest challenges yet when her husband, Paul Chase, tragically took his own life after struggling with PTSD. Speaking with raw honesty, Tina admitted that while she believes he's now in a better place, the reality of living without him has been devastating. She described how she and her daughter Flame, who's just 11 years old, are coping with the loss. Their home is still full of Paul's presence and quiet, haunting details. His toothbrush is still in the bathroom, sitting right next to theirs. His gym bag hasn't been touched in the hallway. His boots remain under the table, as though he might walk through the door and put them on again. Even his aftershave and a bottle of water by the bed are still there.
Tina confessed that she even hoovers around his things, unwilling to move them.
For anyone who's lost someone they love, it's a painfully familiar picture, the way ordinary objects suddenly feel priceless because they hold the weight of memory. And yet, Tina doesn't just dwell on the loss, she also reflects on the love story that brought them together in the first place. The two first met at what she jokingly called Fat Camp. Paul didn't recognize her from television, he had never seen Shameless and admitted, "I don't know who you are." Instead, he shared stories about his tours of duty as a soldier. At the end of the camp, there was a small celebration with wine, cheese, and certificates.
Tina couldn't help but notice Paul on the dance floor, showing off moves that caught her attention in a way nothing else could.
A week later, they decided to go for a drink. That drink turned into an entire weekend together. And in a move that shocked even Tina, Paul moved in just 13 days later. She was 46 at the time, he was 26. The age gap raised eyebrows, but neither of them cared. Their bond was instant, deep, and undeniable. That relationship became one of the great loves of Tina's life. And even though tragedy has now cut it short, the way she talks about Paul makes it clear how much of an impact he had on her. From the soldier who didn't care about her fame to the man who built a life with her and their daughter, Paul left behind a legacy that Tina still treasures.
What makes Tina's story so compelling is the balance between resilience and vulnerability.
Here's a woman who fought tooth and nail for her career, who refused to take no as an answer, and who still dreams about stages and screens she hasn't conquered yet. But at the same time, she opens up about grief and love in a way that reminds us she's not just an actress, she's a mother, a wife, and a human being dealing with the same struggles as anyone else. It's that mix of strength and honesty that has kept fans connected to her for decades. Whether she's making us laugh as Mimi Maguire, shocking audiences with her no-nonsense attitude, or moving us to tears with her personal revelations, Tina Malone remains one of the most fascinating figures in British television. And judging by her determination, her story is far from over.